I will never back off an inch on non-acceptance towards homosexuality and a homosexual marriage.
Yeah.
Besides, like, look, you're a bunch of fucking degenerates. Like, let's just be real. Like, you're a bunch of fucking degenerates.
We're gonna stay there. Just let me tell Andrew one last thing. All right,
Okay.
Andrew. I, on a daily basis, for over the last few months, because I'm having some medical issues, so I have a lot of free time.
Do you have AIDS?
Anal?
No, I've never had any STDs. Let's not get into that.
All right.
But so you don't understand that I'm actually being very, very nice up here.
It's a funny joke.
Normally I'm not. No, it's okay. It's okay. I'm not a snowflake.
All right.
So, like yesterday, for instance, I think it was yesterday, I had Radical Coder on my show.
Oh God!
I started screaming. Hold on, I like Furby's banned and Radical Coder's now banned, but it's ended up in him saying, "Okay, so blah blah blah, trans woman at a woman's prison, blah 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 blah," and I'm like, "Okay, can you please explain to me how a woman impregnated a woman? Because it's not a woman, right?" And he's like, blah 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 blah, and then we started talking about talking to kids about this stuff, and he's like, well, under certain circumstances, and then I started screaming at him that he's a threat to my existence, and said some other things that I won't say on here. And so I've argued this with Furby within the last 48 hours as well, and this has been going on for 9 months, right? So I'm arguing with you to please don't hate me, right? And just let's exist. And those people, I'm trying to tell, you're the reason that these people hate us. And then Radical Coder's out there pretending that he's not gay, right?
I understand the position here. The position is like
fingerless gloves.
But Andrew, I more ideologically agree with you than I do with these Fruit Loops. Why is it that you can't accept this part of my lifestyle if I'm ideologically close to you? I get that, but I just need to explain this to you so that you understand. I will never back off an inch on non-acceptance towards homosexuality and a homosexual marriage. It is a critical component of Christian ethics. And the fact of the matter is that there's no room there for compromise. That does not mean I hate you.
I will never back off the fact
hang on. Let me finish, bro. Let me finish talking to this guy before you open your big fat fucking mouth. And then you can say whatever you want, I promise. So the thing is like, I'm not going to back off an inch on that. It is a critical part of Christian ethics, but I just need you to know a couple things, though. Doesn't mean I hate you or think you're an irredeemable person or even think you're a bad person. Only that when you're inside the life of sin, especially this particular sin, which is so degrading and detrimental to society, that I would prefer to see you move out of that. Even if moving out of it just means not practicing it. Not that you even have to get with a woman, none of that, but just not practicing the sinful nature of the thing that you do. That's not hatred. That comes from a place of caring, not a place of hatred.
And I just received a cash app to boot 10th Man. Sorry, 10th Man, I'm going to send you back to the back again, okay? I love you.
Dang it, I had a counter for him. I was just going to say, I've been bullied by gay people. Does that mean that I get to say they don't want me to exist?
It does, yeah.
Besides, like, look, you're a bunch of fucking degenerates. Like, let's just be real. Like, dude, you're a bunch of fucking degenerates, okay?
But if the degens take ownership of being a degen, then at that point it doesn't matter, right? Like,
that's better at least.
Well, I don't think
like at least when Destiny's sucking the D, he's saying that he's a complete epistemic moral nihilist scumbag loser and just doesn't give a shit, and that everything is permitted. That's at least something I can wrap my head around. But this idea of like I'm a complete fucking degenerate and getting these fucking group gangbangs and all this crazy shit these gays do, and then they come in and pretentiously are like, I'm just like you. No, you're fucking not. And the things you're advocating for, no, they're not fucking like the things I advocate for. No matter how ideologically you think I make sense, that's because the things that you're doing are fucking crazy. They're insane, and that's the reason I sound like I make sense to you. It's not hatred, though. This idea that it's hatred is insane.
Well, there's
wrapping his head around it is the reason he's in that fucking position in the first place.
Yeah, there's not a good grasp of what love and what hate is. A lot of people, especially atheists who like to criticize, or secularists who like to criticize the Christian position, will say, well, don't you're not supposed to hate anybody, or, things about love, and they'll mention that. But To love someone would be to tell them to get out of their sin. And to hate them would be to leave them there in it and ignore them.
Here, look. In fact, Nacho's so right about this. Let me give you an example. Say I called Nacho up and I was like, because I know the guy pretty well. We've met in person a couple times. Great guy, right? We've talked for how many years? I don't know. Multiple years, right, Nacho? Online.
Like 2020 or something.
Yeah, for a long time. Okay, he's a personal friend. If I called him up and I'm like, hey man, I'm really looking at this chick's been hitting me up online, blah 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 blah. She's pretty hot. Blah. This guy would crack down on me like you couldn't believe. He'd be like, Andrew, what are you fucking doing? You're not doing that. You're not going to do that, degenerate fucking fuck off. He would come down on me hard. Is that because he hates me? Is that because let me just ask you bluntly, is that because he hates me?
It might be because he's narcissistic and thinks that he knows what everybody should be doing.
That's not narcissism.
What?
It might be because you asked him to, in which case that would
so
be
he can
a good
message the
friendship.
chick himself. That's an alternative.
Okay.
Yeah, but do you think that would be coming from him from a place of hatred? Or do you think, using your rational brain, that would be coming from a place of him caring legitimately about me and thinking that I'm making a terrible mistake he's trying to prevent me from making? Which one sounds more rational to you?
Yeah. I also think you should consider the fact that him calling you out is consistent with like your foundational beliefs. So like he's literally telling you to do what you preach, like practice what you preach.
Well, I mean, that even Jesus said to sin no more. So yes, you meet the sinners where they're at to tell them to sin no more, to stop doing the things that they're doing. So if you continue to do those things, then you know what I mean. You can't be a part of.
Do sinners
What do you
think
mean
they're
it's
sinners?
a bad analogy? It's a great analogy. It hits
definitely
hard.
no.
They could.
Depends on who you ask.
He's not saying, hey, don't do that and destroy your entire family because he hates me.
I'm definitely a sinner.
How the fuck would you know what God wants you to do? What?
Because I'm here and
Exactly.
I'm doing it. I'm on the path. You know what I'm saying? I'm living his path that he set for me.
What's that?
Where did you find that written
down? I don't
down?
know what it is. I just know that I am here and
How
I'm
do you know you're
doing it and it exists.
I know you're not. God told me you're not on the right path.
Before we get weird,
He told me that too.
God said right now you have to be quiet and
He
repent.
told you all this stuff.
Before-
God